Weaponeer here, and this right here is going to be a quick review on the Caldwell Wind Wizard, and that's this little bugger here. Now the Caldwell Wind Wizard is it's your basic weather instrument for like long-range shooting or hunting. And what this does is this measures the wind velocity as well as the temperature. Now if you're going to be shooting long range, you have to know basically two things, two variables. And one of them is the temperature. You can guess, but if you're guessing, you're only going to be guessing on where that bullet's going to hit downrange. And if you guess on the wind velocity, you're only guessing where that bullet's going to hit downrange. So when you're talking a couple hundred yards, it's not a big deal, but when you're talking 600 yards or even 400 or 500 yards, depending on the velocity of the wind, it can make a big difference on where your shot actually places. So this right here is a very affordable weather instrument that basically it only does two purposes. It does the wind velocity and it does the temperature. Now you can look at the trees and everything else to find out wind direction. These devices typically don't tell you wind direction very easily unless you buy a tripod and able to screw it on the top of the tripod where it sits like this on a weather vane. And they have those. This isn't just not one of them, because this right here is a lanyard. And this is this is the removable lanyard, so you can just take it right off. It's a very affordable unit. This right here is your basic weather instrument. If you are spending $500 or $1,000 or a couple of grand to go out west and do some big game hunting, or if you're going to be shooting prairie dogs from a long distance and stuff like that, and you've got a lot of money invested in that hunt, if you don't have something like this or better, then you're just guessing. That's it. If you're going to be shooting competition, I mean, there's no sniper out there that would be going out there without some sort of weather data. Now, all the new ones now, they have a lot better units, very expensive ones. And if a sniper is going to be using something like this, then it's probably something you should consider. Now, I found this to be very accurate. The wind velocity was very much spot on. I also liked the temperature, the way it regulates the temperature. It does quite well in that. There is one comment. When it comes to the temperature, you probably should not hold it like right here, because you're holding onto the plastic case, and the plastic case will warm up from your body temperature, and the temperature sensor is a little hole, that little hole here, and if you're putting your hand next to that hole, you're increasing the temperature. So if it's 70, and your body temperature is 98.6, you're going to be artificially increasing the temperature without you realizing it. So you want to hold it as low as possible, and try not to hold it too long, because you're going to be warming up the case. The same thing with the sun hitting the case. The sun hits the case, it heats the case up, and it can artificially inflate the temperature. So you want to use it just like any other. You wouldn't take a thermometer and stick it out in the sun. You want to use it in the shade, or you want to use it in a shady area for taking the temperature. It's common sense. You have to do that for just about everything. So if you want to make sure your shots are going to be placed where you want them, this right here is the basic model for wind direction, for wind speed, and temperature. This right here is the basic one. It's very affordable, and it's very much worthwhile if you like to do long range shooting. So that right there is the Caldwell Wind Wizard, and I highly recommend it. It is a good product for the price. And if you don't have anything like this to tell you what the wind speed is, and normally you should have wind speed for your location as well as midway to the target. If you don't have it midway to the target, you're going to have to look at the trees at where you are, and then you're going to have to do a little guesswork and see if the wind is affecting the trees the same way at the midpoint. If they are, then you use the same formula. If they are not, you have to make sure, you have to judge whether the bullet is traveling to a higher velocity or less velocity wind. So most iPhones and stuff will have something like I use, and that is bullet flight. Now bullet flight is right here. And if I want to calculate the ballistics of something, I can just go ahead and select the round, like that, a 260 Remington with a specific bullet, and I can go ahead and just click on calculate ballistics, and then I can add in the range and the temperature and the barometric pressure. Barometric pressure is going to be based on the weather conditions that day. It's going to be close. It's not dead on. It's going to be close. So because pressure variations change throughout the day. And you have to go ahead and make sure you check the weather in the morning before a big hunt. You want to know the barometric pressure. You want to know the humidity, the altitude. All that will make a difference in where your shot actually places. And that's where I use the software. This goes with me out into the field. I take this and I use this to enter in the data that's missing. I'll already have the altitude, but this will tell me in real time what the wind speed is rather than what the average is for the day, and tell me what the real temperature is, so I don't have to guess. This gets me closer to the target than without it. There you go, Weapon here with the Caldwell Wind Wizard. If you have any questions, comments, please post them below, and I'll thank you very much.
What you want? What you want? Come on.